Everybody, welcome to part 5 of our Nano Reef series on the Pete McHugh Show. And today we're going to talk about additives that we use personally on a personal basis in our nano tanks to help keep our nano tanks healthy and running efficiently and just doing what they need to do to be awesome and overall cool. Now there are certain things we have to add. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to start with 8.4. Now, let's talk chemistry for a second. In a nano tank, your ideal chemistry for your pH, your ideal number for your pH, your magic number is 8.4. Now initially, when I first started my tank, I was reading about a level of 7.2, 7.3. It wasn't where it needed to be. After a certain point, I started adding calcium and all sorts of other things, and but basically what I added, I think initially, was my pH buffer over here. And I got it up to about 8, which is okay. It's not perfect. It's okay. It's not a deathly level. But this thing here, I love this stuff because it's called 8.4. What it will do is it will send your salinity, or not your salinity, it will send your pH to an absolute exact point where it needs to be, 8.4. It will not go over. It will not screw up. It will buffer out at a point exactly where it needs to be. It's foolproof, folks. Now, that's the calcium, is it?
Calcium.
This is especially essential for nano reef tanks in the sense that it's essential for corals. Some corals need calcium. A lot of soft corals can be part of a natural photosynthetic process, but some hard shell corals need calcium. This is a provider of calcium. This particular, what should we explain the brand?
Yeah, this is made by Chem, and this is a Reef Complete kit. It's part of a kit that you can go out and buy that has this and a couple of other things in there. It's reef ready, this is what you need kind of stuff, and this is the calcium of the kit.
Now, especially when you're starting out, I would recommend a reef kit. They're going to have all the essential things you need for a good starting point. You're going to want to graduate to different levels of, kits, but you got to become more experienced. This is a good starting point for anybody who might be wanting to.
Yep. So this is going to be good for your hard corals, you said.
Yeah. Well, it's essentially going to be beneficial for any kind of coral, really, isn't it?
Hard corals and coralline algae, essentially calcium is yes, yeah.
Now. This is a pH buffer. This is what this can be used in conjunction with 8.4, and essentially this is going to buffer your pH to a point where it's not it's going to get back to a respectable place. It's going to help raise your alkalinity and pH, and that's essential for any aquarium. Now, as I said earlier, most soft corals are photosynthetic, and for the most part, the photosynthetic process helps you feed corals naturally. Mother Nature takes care of that. This is a little additive I use for my corals to add them give them a little extra food boost. This is phytoplankton, zooplankton, and this is a good add-on for any kind of nutrient and food that these guys might need. Well, it's not any kind of, it's just specifically a good food bonus.
Alright, so briefly we discussed some 8.4, which is our pH additive. We've discussed some pH buffers that raises our alkalinity, some calcium for your corals, and some photofeast, which also allows your corals to eat a healthier diet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about, this is another line from Chem. This also came in the Reef Complete kit. And this, I'll let you guys take a look at it here. Basically what this does is it's a concentrated supplement of vitamins and amino acids.
Corals need that.
Yeah, it's corals, they need sunlight, they need zooplankton, phytoplankton, and things of that nature to eat. They also, just like us, they need amino acids and vitamins. Amino acids, they're the building blocks of proteins, which allows good structure, growth, things of that nature. And vitamins same situation just like us. We need vitamins and minerals to maintain a healthy immune system. Corals are animals, not plants, so they need the same type of thing going on inside them that we need in us. Next thing I'm going to talk about is Aptasia X. Previously in some of our other videos we've described pests that can enter your aquarium. Aptasia is one of those. Aptasia is an anemone. It is an animal, but it is a nuisance anemone. It is an enemy that you don't want in your system. It has the capability of reproducing very, very, very rapidly. I'll let you guys take a look at this. That is what an Aptasia looks like.
Who the heck wants that in their tank?
Now, because it is an anemone, it does have, I believe they're called nematocytes, stinging cells, stinging tentacles, what have you, on these. They will sting and they will kill your corals.
In some cases, fish.
And they may even sting and kill your fish depending on where they are, how big they get, things of that nature. They're carnivorous, and they, like I said before, they will overtake a tank in a matter of, days. It depends on how many is in there. If you look at it and you say, oh, that's cool, I've never seen that before, I'm going to let it grow and see what it becomes. It's going to keep releasing more Aptasia into the water, and soon you're going to have colonies of Aptasia, which you might as well just throw your tank away because that's extremely hard to get rid of. Now, when you open up your Aptasia X, you're going to have a couple of things. One is the Aptasia treatment itself. Helpful, right? Basically, what this is, it's purpley, milky colored. And it's very liquidy when it's in the bottle. You need to shake it up, give it a good shake, and then you're also provided a syringe, which also comes with 2 hypodermic needles. You have one that is curved for those hard to reach places, and then you have one that is straight. The end of your syringe allows for easy screw-on of your needle. Now, if you read the instructions on the Aptasia X, it tells you to fill the syringe with Aptasia X treatment. This is a 3 cc, 3 milliliter syringe. That is a lot of Aptasia X. If you can see that there, now that I've pulled it out, you would have that much Aptasia X in there, that's overkill. Now, if you have a colony of Aptasia, this may be necessary to actually fill the syringe. When they say fill the syringe, I want you to know that they don't mean fill it completely. Basically, they're just saying, suck up some Aptasia X, however much you would need. The front of the bottle says that it's, well, maybe not on the bottle itself, perhaps on the packaging. It said something along the lines of over 100 uses. Well, if we fill this fully, as the instructions tell us to do, there's no way we're going to get 100 uses out of this. So only use what you think you're going to need. Basically, when I use this, I use about 1/2 of a cc or 1/2 of a milliliter of solution, and that seems to be just fine. Like I said, if you have a colony, you may want to actually fill the syringe, and you're going to spray it over the colony. Now let's talk about how to actually add this to your system. As I said before, it's very milky, fluidy when it's in the bottle. Once this comes in contact with water, it almost becomes like a toothpaste. It becomes very thick. This is designed to kill anemones, Aptasia in particular. Now, I can only assume that it would also have the same effect on your actual anemones that you are growing in your tank. So do not get this anywhere near your actual show anemones. This is only used for Aptasia, things that you actually want to kill. The way you want to do this is, once you've selected the needle and you've selected the appropriate amount of Aptasia X treatment, you're going to position the needle directly in front of the Aptasia head. Now the tentacles are going to be coming off of it kind of like this, and you're going to want to put it towards the oral disc, which is the center of the Aptasia, the mouth of the Aptasia. And these critters have the ability of sucking themselves into the live rock, and then you can't get at them. So as you're coming in, what this Aptasia X is designed to do is it's designed to simulate a feeding response from the Aptasia. So as you start to push this fluid into the Aptasia, it'll close around it, and you should be able to cover that oral disc. The Aptasia will eat it and then die from there. Next and last thing I'd like to discuss is something very, very, very important, especially when you're adding additives to your system. This is a saltwater master's kit. I'll let you guys take a look at it real quick. Basically, this is just, it's 4 different tests. This one tests for ammonia, tests for nitrate, nitrite, pH, and what was the other thing? I think that might be it. So it's got 4 different tests in there. And this is important for testing the waste products that are in your tank, knowing where you stand as far as phosphates and nitrates and ammonias and things of that nature go, and let you know, hey, either your tank's really clean or you got a spike in something, and then you can go about taking care of it from there. This is for waste products. If you're going to get one that tests your calcium, this also does pH. That's the other one I forgot. This also does pH. If you want one that does your calcium, your alkalinity, and other things of that nature, then you need to go out and you need to get what's called a reef master's kit. This is the saltwater master's kit. So that's a little tidbit on additives. Do you have anything else you would like to add to this?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything, the important stuff of this episode anyway, so I'm going to just say peace out, and we'll see you for part 6 very soon. God bless.
Take care.